So today I'm going to introduce you to another extraordinary listing, and I'm so excited about this one. We're going to take a tour with the seller, Robert, my client, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the history. So extraordinary properties don't have to be just about bedrooms and bathrooms and square footage. They could be the way they communicate with a community, which is another listing that we're going to be talking about, or in this case it could be about the property's history, which this is a story that needs to be told.
We came upon this log house that you can see on my left. The house was built in the 1840s, and the property was owned by a family by the name of Jesse Peak, and he was a Revolutionary War soldier and captured by the British and Indians during the war, and spent 2 years in a prison camp. And as a result, both he and his father and brother were granted 1,000 acres of land in Kentucky as a reward for their effort in the Revolutionary War. They took title to this land right after Kentucky became a state in 1795.
But I'd love you to take us a tour of the original manor house that was built here and give us a little history. If I'm correct, it was part of the Underground Railroad at one point, and if you could kind of point that out, that would be great.
This is not the way the house looked when I bought the property. It was much larger. It had 2 additional bedrooms, a bathroom, and what they called a pump room, because their water supply was provided by rain, and they captured the water in a cistern. But I was told by Dr. Bogardus, who was a physician here in Warsaw for many years, and he was the president of the Historical Society. And he indicated that he had proof that this property was part of the Underground Railroad before the Civil War. There actually was a room built above the kitchen that only had a trap door up to it as access, and it would hold 2 people. And the only way you could open it up, it was an addition to the house up on this side of the chimney. And according to the doctor, he said that at times in August you actually could walk across the Ohio River because it would get down to about 8 feet deep that time of the year.
I love how you brought it back to its original state. Somebody's going to love this. I know historical societies have actually offered you money for it.
Yes, they wanted to move it.
They wanted to move it off the property, and you said no way.
That's correct. It's an interesting configuration of logs. These are poplar logs, which were the hills around Warsaw were prolific with poplar forest, and they were actually Warsaw became a furniture center. There were 4 factories there that made various types of popular furniture. The thing that's interesting about this one is that there are no nails. It is all pegged together.
And you can see that on the corners.
Right. The pegs are driven from one level of log to the other. And some of these logs were enormous in size. The one that goes across the top of the upstairs windows is 25 feet long, and it's a 12 by 18 inch log. Enormous in size.
I love it. Well, we're going to take a look at the barn next, I think, and get a little history of that.
Let me tell you a little bit about this barn. It was built in 1890. It's what they call a locust tree pole barn. There are 18 locust trees that support this barn. It's 2,000 square feet. It has a concrete floor, which I put in at the time I bought it, and then I had it re-sided and took out the doors that vented so the tobacco could dry, and I put in a rough cut random width board to seal it off so it is suitable for horses. The,
So somebody could potentially put
absolutely,
stalls
it
in and have horses up here.
It was my intent at one time to do that, but one thing came to another in that we actually never implemented that plan. But it certainly is suitable for that, and it was one of the main reasons why I had it renovated and a concrete floor put in it.
So now we get to the best part of this tour. We get to talk about the beautiful main home that you built over 30 years ago, right?
That's correct. We actually started this property in July 1st of 1987. After 2 years of investigating log houses, which is what we wanted, we found a firm up in Petoskey, Michigan that offered a white cedar type wood, which is a very decay and pest resistant type of lumber. So we contracted for the house, the materials only. We contracted for the outside log, and the inside of the house is a white pine shiplap 6-inch board furnishings. The entire house is made of white pine paneling on the inside. It actually took 17,000 board feet of white pine lumber in order to finish the inside of the house. The house has 24-foot ceilings in the living room, cathedral type ceilings. It has a limestone fireplace. Most of the limestone came from the property, which has in the nearby area limestone creeks. I have one of them on the property itself, and then several others around here that contributed to the fireplace, both in the family room downstairs and the upstairs.
Goes through the whole center of the house.
That's exactly right. It's a 70 ton. We measured it.
I love that it came from the property. I think that's a great part of the story. How many skylights?
There's 5 skylights. There's 2 in the kitchen, 2 in the bedroom, and 1 in the dressing room.
And 2-level deck that overlooks, that you can see the Ohio?
There's 2 decks, about 2,000 square foot deck, plus a large porch on the west side. We get cool breezes both from the west and the south.
Which we're having today.
Yes.
Well, I think the best part about this house is when you were talking about pest resistant and everything. This house looks like it could have been built yesterday. And that's what really amazes me. It's 30 years old, but it's in perfect condition.
And the outside looks like the day we put it up. It has a finish that comes from Holland, or at least it did at the time. It's available now in the United States, but it has been perfect. It does not have to be repainted very often. It probably has been refinished 4 times in the last 33 years.
Wow, I love that. Well, this has been an amazing tour. Thank you so much for spending the time, and we're going to get it sold.
Let's hope so. Thank you.